Okay, well, I'm Arnie Fisher. I'm running for candidate for sheriff here in Greenwood County, and that's why I'm here today.
Uh, First question, how would you handle the situation if you were elected and one of your deputies was killed in the line of duty?
Okay, well, with a situation like that, that is something that I've had to deal with before, being in the military. Um, First, you want to ensure that the family is taken care of. You want to make sure the investigation is investigated in a way that we ensure that it was not a fault of our own due to training. I think sometimes we get caught up in when something as tragic as that happens, we don't concentrate on the real issue, and sometimes it can be training, and it can be training on our part. So that's one thing I would definitely look at. Another thing is ensuring that the family is taken care of. I think in law enforcement, this should always be a family, and family comes first with that. And then we have to ensure that that deputy, he or she, that their family is taken care of, and then go through the investigation with SLED. Any deadly shooting is investigated with SLED, any kind of shooting like that. And that is something I hope I never have to deal with again. But I have dealt with that, and I have experience with that. And it's just something that you don't want to think about, you know, a situation like that. But these deputies that go out there every day, and that's something that can happen. I mean, it's the world is becoming very dangerous. So that's something we do have to think about. But those are the things I would do when it comes to an aspect of that nature.
Next question I've got, what do you see as the most important role for the sheriff?
Right now, uh, with numbers and crime rising, um, community policing is probably the most important role right now for sheriff, as far as community-wise. I might go in different roles. For community-wise, community policing, programs for the community, and ensuring that we're dropping the drug use levels, ensuring that the youth are getting what they need to do in order to prosper. Another issue is with the rise in crime and narcotics, and what I'm hearing about gang activity here in Greenwood is a serious issue, and it's becoming an issue that we need to address. And those are one of those things I want to get in contact with the DEU unit when I go in office and train them on gang task force to combat that. That's something we can do that's going to be not cost a lot with taxpayer dollars. We want to do anything that alleviate costs right now. And that's another thing that I definitely want to get into. That I think might become an even bigger issue right now.
Now that's for the sheriff. What do you see as the most important role for the sheriff's office overall?
Well, sheriff's office. Okay, I see what you're saying. Well, for that, it's protecting the property and the businesses here in the county, and ensuring that we're governing those properties and protecting those properties as best we can, and doing that through training and making sure our deputies are well trained in order to do that, and have the best equipment and technology in order to do that. So that's the main thing. That should be the main mission of the sheriff's office, is to ensure that the community is safe.
Okay. Is there a perception that the public has about the sheriff's office that you would like to change? If so, what is it, and how would you go about that?
I think right now law enforcement in general is getting kind of people are taking a bad take on law enforcement in general right here. What's happening in the United States, and I think what we have to do is we really have to get to a point where we gain back the community's trust in law enforcement. Um, People are losing a lot of trust in a lot of areas right now in the United States. The only area they haven't lost trust in is right now is the military, but everything else, people are losing trust. We have to do everything we can to gain back trust, in law enforcement, in the community, things of that nature. We have to go, we have to exert ourselves in a way that we're going overboard almost to gain back that trust. And that's what I want to do. Because when I talk to a lot of people now, the main question I ask them is, are you happy with the current state of your county law enforcement? And a lot of people aren't. And it's various reasons why they aren't. I'm not going to go into things that are being investigated right now because that's not fair. I'm in law enforcement. I've been in law enforcement, and it's not right to go into to dive into those things because they're still being investigated. And I can't run for an office that believes in the judicial system and say things that are still being investigated. So I don't think that's right for me to do that. But there are many issues right now. But gaining back the public's trust is the main thing that I want to do.
And last one here. If you're elected, what would the sheriff's office look like in 4 years?
In 4 years, what would it look like? But the first 90 days when I get in is what I want to do. I want to go over policy, update all the policy, make sure that we're on track with growing. What we need right now is growth and training in the sheriff's office. If we can get that growth and training in 4 years, what we'll look like a sheriff's office where we're making the paper for the right reasons, that we're doing things, we're so entwined with the community that when you go out in the community, we have a presence, and that's the main thing. It's not reinventing the wheel here. We have to get back into the community, do the things we need to do, and be entwined in the community so that we're helping and lowering the crime rate. The only way we can lower this crime rate is care about the community that we're enforcing the laws in. That's the only way. So I want a sheriff's office where we look community friendly, transparent. I want to be very transparent. Right now, I think that so much is going on that we've lost a lot of trust in the community because we're not as transparent as we need to be right now. And that's the reason why people are losing trust in law enforcement. We need to be more transparent. We can't run law enforcement anymore as if it's just to protect. It's protect and serve. And we got to get back to service and get out of this realm that we're just here to enforce laws. Caring. So that's what in 4 years, I guarantee you that we will be an office that cares about the community and that's ingrained in the community.